What's up, guys? We're here today. I'm with Joe, and we're catching up on another position with y'all for our Zoom sessions here. And this sequence we're going to talk about, we've been kind of discussing this previously to our Zoom meetings here in the academy. There was a couple of sequences that we showed from this scenario, and we're kind of just building off of that. But it's our one of our options for our two-handed front chokehold scenario. And so if I'm standing, just kind of minding my own business, and an attacker comes and puts the front chokehold on me here, okay, this is a very common way to kind of also start an altercation, okay? So I have to have some attacks, not really attacks, but escapes and counters from here, okay? So I'm gonna have to rewind a little bit, okay? Again, reading the body language is very important. If I'm in this situation and I feel like my well-being is at risk here, that this person maybe wants to harm me, maybe it's someone I've never seen before, maybe it's after a watch, maybe it's after a wallet, I'm not sure. But at this case, I'm concerned about my well-being, and so I'm kind of having to defend myself, okay? So with that being said, this would be my reaction, okay? And that would kind of kickstart the action here, okay? So there is an elbow involved, okay? So I did take a little bit of a preemptive step towards kind of a strike, and I don't like to use strikes first, so that's why I like to kind of clarify that this scenario, I'm concerned for my well-being, okay? I'm not aware of this person's history, okay? This person might be looking to take something from me or have some ill will for whatever reason. So my well-being is at concern. With that in mind, okay, I cannot be concerned for his actions until I am safe, okay? So self-defense is very important to kind of have that guideline. Always try to diffuse the situation using your words and kind of emotional control. But once the well-being is at risk here, okay, this would be the action I take. So one more time. I put the hands here, I clear my head, I go for an elbow, and meanwhile, you can also finish today in this clinch position here, okay? So that way, you don't just go for a strike and disengage, but you go for the strike, you take advantage of the strike, and now you get in a nice kind of controlling position where you can kind of somewhat control your opponent, and if you need to, then be able to take down and subdue your opponent on the ground, okay? So we're gonna do a little slower now here, okay? He's gonna grab, all right? So first things I kind of wanna do is tuck my chin, kind of shrug my shoulders a little bit, okay? As I do that, okay, I step back into a good fight base, okay? As I step back in a good fight base, I'm gonna U-shape my head right under his wrist. Okay, now on the way up is when the strike's gonna come. So I'm gonna bring my hand into a blocking position here. Okay, so it's blocking my head and face here as I come in, and I'm gonna counter strike with the elbow. With the counter strike, now I would follow through, and I would step into the clinch position, and then look to subdue my opponent in our clinch position here. Okay, so those three pieces all together, he grabs me. When you guys are practicing this, okay, some things that you have to maybe take into consideration, okay, some level 2, level 3 things for this move, okay, is there's a possibility of him throwing a knee or a leg strike, okay? So when he's holding me here, if he notices my head dropping and stepping back, it might be a reaction to take a knee, okay? And I don't want to be surprised by that. You never want to be surprised in a fight, and you never want to be surprised just in general, okay? So when he's holding me here, the technique that we use is to make like a pad with our hands. A nice resistant pad to where there's gonna be some response, and it's not gonna just give in and fold back, okay? Because the legs are pretty strong, so it might be a pretty athletic character, and I don't want that knee to go through my pad, okay? So as I step back in the base and that knee comes up, look, I got the pad blocking the knee already, and look, I'm gonna circle my head out. That block turns into another block here, because as I'm going to counter strike, he might be counter striking at the same time. And I wanna close the distance and get under here. Okay, so always protecting yourself at all times, and pretty much the primary concern in a street confrontation without any weapons is getting knocked out, right? Especially for us that are jiu-jitsu practitioners. So we want to be better prepared from those knockout blows. And once we get to the fight to the ground, you know, our jiu-jitsu can start to take over the fight, okay? But not getting knocked out is our primary goal. And then it's just a matter of how we can subdue the opponent and finish via submission in jiu-jitsu, okay? So one more time, we're here. He throws at me, I block myself, elbow comes in, boom, we're in here. Okay, I'm gonna rotate in this position here, okay? Proper body lock, okay, in the family here, in the curriculum, is we wanna control, like, let's say the floating rib. Okay, we have that kind of floating rib, the bottom rib of the rib cage, and you wanna just get that little blade wrist bone just under that floating rib, as if it's kind of digging in, up and into that floating rib. I make a fist. My backup hand is gonna go ahead and give some backup, some support. Okay, so it comes in, clasps on that original hand, and starts to pull in, and folds my opponent in on the floating rib. Okay, this will give me good leverage to then take the fight to the ground. Okay, if I don't have this good body lock and they start to run their hips back a little bit, it could make it more difficult for me. Okay, so here, I attack that floating rib, I make a little fist, second hand, the backup hand comes in, I fold the guy in, I set up step, and I can start going for that leg hook takedown and scooping his foot out as we take the fight to the ground, okay? So, a good way to practice this one, since it's it's a fairly short move, is so you can go 1-and-1, for maybe the course. I always like to break these down into 5 minutes. So you and your partner for 5 minutes can just go back and forth, applying a two-handed front chokehold on each other. And we can demonstrate for about 10 reps here what that would look like. And again, the whole principle of this is to work on your reflex and your timing and your muscle memory. Okay, so reflex, timing, and muscle memory is the goal of this Zoom training here while we're working here. So I'm gonna put my hands on him first here. I'm gonna go here. Nice. All right, and now he's gonna return the favor. Now he's gonna put the hands on me. I do the move, I block, elbow strike, and we're in the body lock. All right, now I'm gonna go back on him. Again, okay. We're in, all right. Control well, good. Okay, firm body lock. Nice. One more time. Nice. Thank you, Joe. All right, so that's one of our options from the two-handed front chokehold self-defense standing techniques. Thank you for joining us.